Hey guys, what's up? Ryan here again, and welcome back to the Random Opening Series. And in this game, we're back to the Severance, and so looking for a whole board kind of game. Already something that I have to decide on. So normally you shouldn't actually do the one-space pincer because when white invades, it's the Joseki is not very good, but I think I'm gonna still do it nevertheless. So we're going to play this Joseki, and then, oh wow, now this is a little awkward, because now if I do the pincer, it's kind of a difficult moyo to keep, and my opponent is going to do it. So I want to see how my opponent reduces this. This is interesting, because normally I really wouldn't play this. Whoa. Interesting. It's a very aggressive move. Okay, so my opponent is actually pretty aggressive. He's just going straight in. So now if white jumps, that might be a little awkward for me. I think I can just extend. This side is actually pretty awkward since he can't connect back. This seems like a very aggressive kind of move. And that's because if he pushes and cuts, I get the first move, so I shouldn't really be afraid of any liberty races here. So we're gonna... Actually, we can't capture this quite yet, but... So yeah, I mean, I get the first move, so this liberty race can't be really beneficial for white. Okay, so I think I have a few options here. I think I want to keep that stone. And so he's getting gote here. So I think this is going to be pretty easy. I just want to connect. Okay. Oh, I thought he was going to play here and get Sente. And I was thinking whether I need to actually extend to 2-2 here, but since he didn't do that, this should be a pretty easy liberty race for black. And so I don't think I even need to respond to that. Because everything seems to be dead. Right, inside there's like a pretty simple eye versus no eye. So he's just like dead in here as well. He can't live. So I think if I just keep Tanuki, let me just protect this just in case he like. Actually, you know, I don't even know why I play there. It's kind of like to prevent him from struggling. Maybe I should just connect on the other side. Yeah, but all this doesn't really matter because inside it's a pretty simple eye kills no eye. And over here he's obviously dead, so... So, again, we kind of turned kind of a pretty... This is a pretty good move, I think. It's not a bad move, because after this move, even it's difficult for black to really capture everything. So if white plays lightly, it's probably a difficult game for black. But yeah, that was actually quite quick. I don't think I need to talk about this game too much, other than the fact that here white should have played kind of lightly. So instead of just pushing here, white should just sacrifice a part of it to reduce the other stuff. Alright, off to the next game. So 0 to 8, let's go. 2. So I guess we're going down and we're doing Kobayashi. So in the next game, oh no, I'm supposed to play Kobayashi. So how am I going to play a Kobayashi if he approaches? Oh, that's unfortunate. But since I'm white, I don't think there's too much I can do. And wow, these guys play really, really fast. I don't mind it because I think this is a good way for me to get up to 5 down as soon as possible. And then you guys can have more interesting games to watch. Well, I'm not saying these are not interesting. These are actually pretty interesting as well. But they're just so quick. And they just breeze by. I guess I'm also playing kind of fast. I think I need to protect the Hane here. Because if he didn't answer, which is a good move. So actually, these are all very good moves. Because yeah, that's not a very big stone at the moment. And I had to Hane there. I had Yutara here because if black Hanes, there's like a push, and I couldn't save the 2 stones otherwise. So I think one thing about Kobayashi is that his play is quite flexible, with very good reading. And so I think when I was looking through his games, one thing that I really noticed was that he played a lot of surprising moves that were very good. And so, since we're playing his opening, I think it's good for us to try to be more flexible in our play. And so what I did was I didn't really care too much about these 2 stones, and I just went ahead and took 2 big moves elsewhere. And so now it's more of a territory versus influence game. So since he wedged and I have the ladder, I decided to Atari below and take the corner first. Oh, I think he's missing a weakness now. Since he didn't push here, I can attach and then extend out. And now he's in a bit of trouble since he needs to extend now, and then I can keep pushing. And now he's in a bit of trouble because now I can actually cut. Actually, this is Sente. But I don't need to exchange it quite yet, I think. So no, actually he can push. Yeah, I think I'll just exchange it. So this is a Sente because it threatens the ladder. And now he's going to have to protect that. And then I get the first move here. Okay, so pretty straightforward. And Hane first. This type of exchanges are usually pretty good because compared to black Hane and Connect, it's actually good territory. Good for territory for white to make these exchanges. And I can actually block as well because now, then if he Tanukis, I can descend, and he's not completely alive, which is a very comfortable Sente move. Yeah, I think he should have at least pushed 1. So this is kind of the deal with when you evade the 3-3 and you keep pushing, because you don't want your opponent to turn in Sente and develop on the side. And so
9.
It kind of remind me of that. And so since he protected once, I assume he will protect again. And he did. So actually another big move is pushing here, which I probably should exchange like right away. If black turns here, it's a very big territory move, so I need to do that first. Okay, and then I can decide what I want to do in this corner. I think I'm just going to go with a more balanced move. I'm going to just jump out towards the center. Yeah, I don't know, like, what's up with these kind of moves. Like, it just happens so frequently. Like, they just play a super fast move, like, without thinking, and it turns out to be a pretty, I don't want to say, like, really bad move, but it can be a good move. Yeah. So the cut doesn't work, because after I Atari, I can Hane over on this side. So it's actually impossible for black to cut. Because I can actually Atari first, and then Atari. And so there's a snapback here. If black extends, then there's a snapback. So that doesn't work. Should I hit Atari once more? That's a difficult decision. Okay, I'll just capture. What was that? That's like the after effects of playing too quick because you don't see snapbacks. Wow, that is fast again. So, I don't think there's too much I need to say about this game. Black probably didn't do too well in this fight. Yeah, being flexible is nice. Alright, let's see what's next. 5. That's something, that's unorthodox, isn't it? Oh, yes! The 3-3, 4-4, and Tengen. Excited. Alrighty, I think out of all the accounts, I think this is the one that I'm most nervous about. The Starpoint, Tengen, and... What? Is that a thing? That is such a weird position to extend. Okay, I'm not here to judge. I'm playing this. I think, did my opponent remember the Chinese opening incorrectly? I've never seen this before. Oh, this is a good place to see it because this is like one of the most famous trick moves, like the 18.5 points. Because if white hanes and connects and falls for it, white's gonna have an 18.5 point corner, and black's gonna get a huge benefit. But of course, we're not here to fall for it. He's probably disappointed because all people who play this trick, I think this is like one of the worst tricks because if your opponent doesn't fall for it, you're in like a very bad situation. And I think in this case I can just give him the 2 stones. So basically he spent another move on the second line. This is actually very similar to the variation where black pushes and cuts. And if you guys know about the one space pinch of Yoseki, you probably
now starts.
know what I'm talking about. And so that stone though is in a very kind of weird position. I think I'm gonna try to use that stone somehow. And wow, I mean, just playing really fast players today. And so this is another Joseki that I think a lot of players at this level will like to connect on the 3rd line, and so just remember that's not the Joseki variation. For Joseki, there's only 2 options. You can either connect here, or you descend. I think this guy just likes to trick people. Like, this is probably a pretty small move, but if you don't answer when black hanes, it's pretty difficult for white to continue. What do I do now?
8, 7, 6,
yeah, I'm like
5.
too many options again. So in this case, I'm probably gonna go for the outside. Now, I've 2 decisions. Oh, he attached directly. In which I can either connect. Oh, actually, I think I have to connect. What am I saying? Huh. So black is supposed to push and Hane, actually. So what he played here isn't really the correct variation, because black gets Gote, and white is actually quite strong on the outside. So I think locally this is probably slightly better for white. But of course, when you're choosing influence, you always have to be careful the side that it's facing. Like if you have no potential, then having influence is probably not going to be too good. And so this is probably just hyper aggressive. Like, I have so many stones, so trying to fight here is not going to end up well for black. And also white's shape is just in general relatively strong. And he has the ladder there, so he's got one Kothra, but I can just extend, I think. I'll just... if I Atari, then he might do that, and I don't want to risk that. So this is pretty easy, and I just take this part and another invasion. So probably with this kind of opening, I'm going to deal with a lot of these kind of invasions. So this is the type that it's actually pretty difficult to kill, I think.
6, 5.
I think I'm just gonna... I don't know. Maybe I should have just descended on that side. Yeah, I'm actually curious. Which account are you guys most curious to see? I think this account is probably the one that I'm most curious to see. I wouldn't be surprised if I get like stuck at like 5 down or something like that. But we'll see. Yeah. Alright, but I think at 3 down we should have no problem. I think the opening isn't really mattering that much, actually. From playing these games, I've been able to pretty much get around the opening, because my opponents really like to fight, and with each fight they seem to collapse somehow, so it's really not my intention to play this fast, but it's kind of I guess it just became this way after a while, and so he can live here, but I think these kind of decisions are actually usually the most difficult for me. It's kind of like you can capture, or you can here I'm probably just going to capture the 4 stones. Since after capturing these 4, all of this is going to be like super strong. So I'm going to have a huge territory in the center. Even though black has like a lot of corners, but this is like huge. And so I'm pretty confident that that's going to be enough. Wow, he connected. That is pretty surprising. What is he going to do with the 5 stones? That I didn't expect. So here I was expecting like a reduction move. But here it just seems really hard to live. So I didn't really consider such an aggressive move at this point. I was gonna say I bet he's gonna Atari, but good thing I didn't make that bet. It's one of those things like probably 80% of the players would play like right away. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. I probably am. Yeah, but this is kind of. He's probably not thinking enough at this point. He's probably just looking at the stones and not really judging the board. And this is actually pretty common. Like a lot of players, like I do this a lot of the times too, when, like sometimes when I get tired, or when I just feel like I'm probably winning this game, or actually, what's the other case? Or like probably when I'm a little rusty, I sometimes get lazy, and I don't really judge the board. And at that point, it's really easy to make this kind of mistake. Like this kind of direction mistake, I think most of us can avoid. That's like my opinion only, but I think you can probably avoid this kind of thing if you just spend the time to like look at it. It's like it's not something like really hard, like it's dependent on skill. It's more like just I think it's like the willingness to do it. I think it's more on that, because I think most players should be able to make some sort of judgment as long as you like look. Because like when I'm reviewing games, I think the most common thing I hear about is, oh, I didn't look at that, or oh, that's probably it. But if I looked at that, I probably would have chosen something differently. And so maybe it's just up to us to change our habits. So, okay. He played a lot of moves inside, and he's kind of just focusing on that one thing. And, yep, I guess it's pretty smooth from here. So, I think it happened again. Like, I kind of just play and I start talking. So I don't know. Maybe like he just chose to kind of territory style, and in the end, I think this fight he definitely shouldn't have played the extension. And here, which led to like this. So like this is bad direction because like this is not even that big. So black should just play knight's move and continue the weak group. So this is probably not a very good move because that honey is pretty severe. So yeah, pretty nice. Alright, what's next? 7. That's another unorthodox, isn't it? It's high I again. Alright. Alright, so this game we actually have a pretty fast game, 15 seconds. Wow. I get this right. Do I play? Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if people fall for it. Oh, so he didn't actually fall for it. But I think this is probably not the best move locally either, since after the attachment, a fourth line and a second line exchange is going to be pretty good for white. So I think I can just leave it like that, and I can just keep going. So let's do another high. Oh, wow. Is he going to play this for each corner? Wow, so he actually thinks this is okay. Oh, so he changed the move, but this is probably a pretty severe weakness, because I don't even have to cut back. I can actually keep extending, since after he blocks, I can cut and cut. Okay, so we did get a lot of benefit from this local exchange, since he has a... Oh, I was gonna say he has a weak group. This seems pretty dangerous for black. I'm just trying to think about whether it's worth it to capture it. It's actually quite complicated
now
because
starts.
black can actually push and cut here. Yeah, but I think that after I push here, and then I block, even if black pushes and cuts, when I hana here, it's black doesn't have that many liberties left.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I think I can just do this directly, if I'm not mistaken. Because he can't capture the 2 stones, and he can't win the race against my corner. And It's not my fault. My opponent is playing very aggressively, and there's nothing else I can do. It's really it's not my fault, guys. So for this kind of situation, when you have two Hanes, it doesn't increase the liberty.
9.
So
Yoyomi now
don't
starts.
don't remember that like 2 Hane plus 1 liberty kind of thing. When you only have 2 stones, it doesn't. It's only when you have 3 or more. And when you have 2 stones, you actually have to have like other things. So it really depends on the situation. So I know like I think at least
9.
2 people have told me about this like double hunt. That was extremely fast. But this is interesting. I'm very curious to continue this high eye. People seem to fall for this. I'm not sure if I've gone for fall for this, but yeah, interesting thing. I haven't really figured out what's the best thing to do locally. So some people have told me you should Tanuki, but yeah, let me know what you think the best thing to do for black is. Yeah, this is an interesting shape. Probably eventually I'll find out, but I'm gonna leave that open for now. And let's do one more game for this episode. 3. Whoa. High Chinese. Or low Chinese. I'm probably gonna go for the low one this time. The pace of these is so quick that I'm really trying to get used to it. Wow, nice! We actually encountered a double high eye player. This is going to be another one of those kind of interesting games, I think. And whoa. So, okay, I'm going to make a prediction, but I'm not going to bet on it. I think he's also going to play... No, I think he's going to play the Knight's move. Yes! Yes! I actually got that right. So he did play the Knight's move. I think I should like really figure this out because like so many people are playing this against me, and don't know what to do against it yet. So yeah, attaching is white can Hane. Actually, in this case, I think I can attach because here white doesn't have the ladder, so I can just attach and cut. Wait, I'm a bit. Oh, oh my god. Okay, so I lied. White did have the ladder, but white didn't choose that variation. So I think I got lucky. So I'm pretty happy with this result. Get a very good Tente corner. And right now, though, it's probably time to play a little more flexible since, you see, white has a big wall here. And if you compare the right side, black has way more territory than white. So if I approach again and he plays that, I think I really wouldn't have a good follow-up. So I think I'm going to do like either this approach or I can actually develop my own thing. So I'm gonna play like a more passive move, and I'm not gonna touch this, since if white plays first, like if he jumps here or here, I can still reduce the side. So that shouldn't really matter too much for me. This move is interesting. Is that a legit like I'm seeing so many like new things. It's not even. it's pretty. It might be like you guys probably seen these, but I've never seen anyone play this against me. This move. I think I need to improve my move variety. So he escaped here, and I think my direction is good since I'm jumping out. And also I'm keeping most of the territory, and I've got this thing. So I think this is a pretty good direction for black. And this is probably not unnecessary, but I really wanted to keep going here and to reduce his influence over there. And so he's going to keep continuing the center, but I don't think the center is that big anymore. Because now I really doubt I could attack his group. So really all I care about is living. So here I'm playing relatively flexible, I think. I'm not going to care too much about his moves now and just taking like the big directions. So now I can just do some extensions, and now you can see all White has is this, and that big territory on the top is going to be my territory lead. I'm actually tempted to cut this, since after I invade I have a little bit of potential here. I'm not sure what's better actually. I think I'm just going to cut it and let him live in the corner. Yeah, he has that stone already, so he can actually just clamp here. But yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think this was a good decision for me. Because if I invade now, he can actually clamp and extend, and that's really bad. So what I should have done is I should have just took Sente here, and then protected my side over here, I think. And so, wow, he's taking some time. And so, yeah, definitely I'm going to protect this side. The corner doesn't really affect life and death. It's really only a bit of points. And I could definitely afford that. And two things I can do. I think I'm going to protect this first, and then look to extend this out. I probably don't need to. I think black is still really ahead in territory. I'm going to Hane and do the, I'm going to break the elephant jump here. So the reason why I Hane is because after this extension, I can actually push back. So that was the main reason behind that. And that is definitely not Sente anymore. What? Wow, that took like a few moves. That was quite sudden. Actually, my opponent played relatively well against me for here, but yeah, he just played really quick. And I think two main direction issues. So I think up to here, he shouldn't have just jumped out by himself. I think he should have attached or did something to black rather than just escape himself. So after here, white keeps getting Gote. Especially this move I think is too slow. White needs to put pressure on black here. And I think that is a big kind of turning point. Later on it was this part was kind of interesting. Yeah, that's about it. I think I'm playing against the high-eye way more than I'm playing it myself, so maybe like at some point I'll do like a video on this because so many people seem to be playing it. Alright, so what is going to be our first game for next video? Yes, 6 God. Alright, it's been 2 episodes that we've played on 6 God. So, we're really excited. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.